I think we can all agree that this last month, this last 30 days for Shiba Inu has been super boring. Yes, we've had some ups, we've had some downs, but we're basically at the exact same price points we were at 30 days ago. Now, that being said, even with that taking place, we actually have two very bullish things taking place in the chart, which I do want to talk about with you guys. And again, today could in fact be the day where things get very volatile, where we do start to see some sort of movement out of the ranges we've been stuck in. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yesterday was a pretty ugly day across the crypto market. Not much to say about that. But again, it seems like every time we're having one of these red days in the market, SHIB tends to hold up pretty well. For example, ADA yesterday was down 6 point something percent, like 6.5%. SHIB was down 4.99%. And again, I'm not trying to, quantify SHIB's red day because it was red across the crypto market. This was the profit taking we talk about. And what we actually saw was a great bounce back from Shiba Inu, right back to its 20-day moving average. Like we were talking about, it's getting stuck to this thing like glue, and it wants to have a confirmed break above it, and it wants to have a confirmed break out of this trend, this descending triangle that we've been in. And right now, again, if we look back 30 days, we're at the exact same prices we were at that point. Now, that being said, the market is getting all jazzed up today and prepping for basically what's happening this afternoon. For those that missed it or didn't watch my ADA video earlier today, the House actually voted to advance the bill to reopen the government. And this vote from the House is actually taking place today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So by the end of today, we could in fact be at the conclusion of the government shutdown, which again provides a lot of clarity for the market. The market has questions about ETFs, about macro data, about rate cuts. And now the doorway could in fact be swung wide open for us to, get back to business as usual, if that makes sense. And what that does to price is kind of a big question. I didn't actually mention this in my ADA video earlier today. Sometimes these government shutdown endings, they lead to just short initial drops, but the last two have led to sizable rallies across the crypto market. Will we see that again? It's very possible. Again, the news cycle for us is kind of working in our favor because we do have such positive things. But I did want to point towards two specific things here for SHIB in just a moment. I almost got ahead of myself here. Did want to point to the fact that institutional money started buying again yesterday. $523 million on the BTC side. On the Ethereum side, it was an unload day. I will say I wouldn't be surprised if today was an accumulation day. That just seems to be how this is kind of shaking up right now. BTC kind of leads the way on this, and then the Ethereum accumulation follows. Grayscale was the big seller, $75 million there. But guys, this is a pretty distinct trend flip after all that red we were seeing. So it's something that we definitely need to monitor very closely. Now, in terms of the SHIB chart, we're seeing the market get a little bit of a push here right at about 6:20 a.m. Central Standard Time, but we're sitting right on top of that 20-day moving average. But I don't think we talked about this yet. SHIB right now actually has a very bullish formation building on the daily chart. We are actually building an inverse head and shoulders. Now, this is a very bullish formation. These have a very high execution rate. What that could mean is that SHIB, over the course of the next day or two here, could in fact be testing this neckline up around 40102. And then it's a question of, do we again get a rejection off of that, or does the news give us enough confidence to push above here? And I'm not saying that this has to happen for sure, because again, if today, government shutdown ends and we actually flip red, we move down, then it's kind of invalidated, right? But this is what we need to watch for today. At the same time, while we've gone through these weeks and weeks of just stagnancy, what we've actually still continued to have on this chart in terms of the weekly price performance for SHIB is still actually bullish divergence. You guys can see we actually have the bottoms dropping here, right? While we're still actually having the bottoms rising on our RSI. So yes, our bullish divergence is intact. Our inverse head and shoulders is intact. We're having the correct liquidity moves across the crypto market. We're still seeing exchange supply removal for SHIB. We're seeing holders on the rise. There's a lot of things right now that, frankly, you could be kind of confident about. I'm not saying we need to get super excited. I'm not saying we need to get euphoric or anything like that right now, but there are very promising steps that are taking place. Again, we're still sitting at a point where weekly stochastic RSI still has not exited this oversold range. In fact, because we confirmed a red candle this last week. We again flipped below. We obviously had our bullish flip for SHIB, but we're still back down, floating around ground zero here, just kind of waiting for the moment that everything can take off. I wish that this would have worked together a lot better on both the daily and the weekly, but charts don't always work out in your favor. I think we can all agree with that. So that's what we got. That's what's on the docket for today. We'll see how it treats us, but have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.